Hello, my name is Jiso and I'm reading Master Dōgen's Shōbōgenzō. And this is chapter 78, Hatsu-u, which means the Pātra. Hatsu is a phonetic rendering of the Sanskrit Pātra, and u means bowl or bowls. In India, Buddhist monks ate their meals from a large bowl called a Pātra, and the tradition was passed to Buddhist monks in China. In this chapter, Master Dōgen explains the importance of the Pātra, which has traditionally been highly revered as a symbol of Buddhist life. Short one today, but lots of footnotes. From upward of the 7 Buddhas, the authentic transmission has passed to the 7 Buddhas. From inside the 7 Buddhas, the authentic transmission has passed to the 7 Buddhas. From the totality of the 7 Buddhas, the authentic transmission has passed to the totality of the 7 Buddhas. And from the 7 Buddhas, the authentic transmission has passed down the 28 generations. The 28th ancestral master, the founding patriarch Bodhidharma, enters China himself and passes the authentic transmission to the 2nd patriarch, great master Taiso Shoshu Fugaku. And transmitted through 6 generations, the transmission reaches Sokai. The total 51 transmissions of East and West are just the right Dharma eye treasury and the fine mind of Nirvana, and the Kaseya and the Pātra. Past Buddhas have maintained each as the authentic transmission of past Buddhas. In this way, each has been authentically transmitted from Buddha to Buddha and from patriarch to patriarch. At the same time, the skins and flesh, the bones and marrow, the fists and the eyes who learn the state of Buddhist patriarchs in practice have each their own expression. Some learn in practice that the Pātra is the body-mind of Buddhist patriarchs. Some learn in practice that the Pātra is the food bowl of Buddhist patriarchs. Some learn in practice that the Pātra is the eyes of Buddhist patriarchs. Some learn in practice that the Pātra is the brightness of Buddhist patriarchs. Some learn in practice that the Pātra is the real substance of Buddhist patriarchs. Some learn in practice that the parts is the Buddhist. The parts. Okay. I wonder if it's supposed to mean Pātra there. It's a misprint. The parts is the Buddhist patriarch's right Dharma eye treasury and the fine mind of Nirvana. Some learn in practice that the Pātra is a place in which Buddhist patriarchs transform themselves, and some learn in practice that Buddhist patriarchs are the rim and base of the Pātra. The principle of learning and practice of each such group has its own standing as an expression of the truth. At the same time, there is learning and practice in a further ascendant state. My late master Tendo, the eternal Buddha, on the day he takes up residence on Tendo in the first year of the Great Sung era of Hogyo, 1225, says in formal preaching in the Dharma Hall, I remember the following. A monk asks Hyakujo, what is a miracle? Hyakujo says, sitting alone on great and mighty peak. Monks, do not be disturbed. Let the fellow kill himself by sitting for a while. If someone today was suddenly to ask, Venerable Nyojo, what is a miracle? I would only say to them, what miracle could there be? Finally, what else? The Pātra of Joji having passed to Tendo, I eat meals. Master Tendo Nyojo was the abbot of Joji Temple when he received the invitation to become the master of Tendo Temple. So that's why it's the Pātra of Joji. And that passage is also quoted in chapter 64, Kadjo. Remember, a miracle should be done for a miraculous person, and for a miracle, a miraculous tool should be used. Such are miraculous moments. Thus, the place where miracles have been realized is the miraculous Pātra. Therefore, to call upon the four-quarter kings to guard the Pātra and upon dragon kings to protect the Pātra is a profound standard of the Buddha's truth. The four-quarter kings, or the four heaven kings, are the four gods under the god Indra, who inhabit the lowest of the six heavens in the world of desire, each guarding 1/4 of the compass surrounding Mount Sumeru. And the dragon kings are the mythical serpent-like beings that guard Buddhism. In ceremonies such as that at the beginning of the summer retreat, dragons are called upon to protect the Dharma. Who better? And for this reason, we offer up the Pātra to Buddhist patriarchs, and the Pātra is entrusted down to us through Buddhist patriarchs. People who do not learn in practice in the inner sanctum of Buddhist patriarchs say, the Buddha's kaseya is silk, is cotton, is made from fabric of transformed thread. They say the Buddha's Pātra is stone, is tile, is iron. They speak like this because they are not yet equipped with eyes of learning and practice. The Buddha's kaseya is the Buddha's kaseya. There must never be any view about silk or cotton. Views about silk, cotton, and so on are outmoded views. The Buddha's Pātra is the Buddha's Pātra. We must never call it stone and tile and never call it iron and wood. In general, the Buddha's Pātra is not man-made, made by building. Okay? It is beyond arising and passing. It neither leaves nor comes. It is without merits and faults. It does not embrace new and old, and it is not connected with past and present. The robes and bowls of Buddhist patriarchs, even if created through the collection of clouds and water, are beyond the restrictions and hindrances of clouds and water. Hindrances, silk nets and bamboo cages used in China to catch birds and fish. Also appears in Fukan Zazengi. Nets and cages appear a lot in Shōbōgenzō. Being composed of clouds, they are clouds. Even if created through the collection of grass and trees, they are beyond the restrictions and hindrances of grass and trees. The point is this: water, being composed of real dharmas, is water, and clouds, being composed of real dharmas, are clouds. Being composed of clouds, they are clouds. Being composed of water, it is water. With regard to the Pātra, only of real dharmas is the Pātra composed. This sentence borrows its structure from a line in Yuima-gyo. Only of real dharmas is the body composed. Only of the Pātra are real dharmas composed. Only of integrated mind is the Pātra composed. Only of space is the Pātra composed, and only of the Pātra is the Pātra composed. The Pātra is restricted by the Pātra and tainted by the Pātra. The Pātra that monks today have received and retained is just the Pātra offered up by the four-quarter kings. Monks, in this case, those who live the free and homeless life. If not offered up by the four-quarter kings, the Pātra could not be manifest before us here and now. The Pātra that has now been authentically transmitted through all directions by Buddhist monks who have received the Buddha's right Dharma-eye treasury is the Pātra in the state that is liberated from past and present. That being so, the Pātra here and now has broken with a glance outmoded views of it held by men of iron. It is not influenced by a valuation of it as a piece of timber, and it has transcended the sound and form of tiles and pebbles, while not restricting lively appreciation of it as a rock or a jewel. Do not call it a bit of tile, and do not call it a chunk of wood. We have realized it in experience like this. Shōbōgenzō Hatsu-u, preached to the assembly at Daibatsu Temple in Etsu on the 12th day of the third lunar month in the third year of Kangen, 1245. Thanks for listening. Take care.